Hello, I'm Dr. Sam and this is Dr. Sam's Health. Today is the 5th of August 2018 and it's time to make my next personal body transformation report. I started 6 weeks ago and I promised to make these reports every 2 weeks. The past 2 weeks were quite interesting and I would like to share my personal discoveries today. As in my previous report, I will follow a very specific structure. Specifically, I will start with what I've been doing in the past 2 weeks, then I'll progress to my results, and then to my plans and expectations for the following 2 weeks. So first of all, in the past 2 weeks, I've been following my nutritional plan, which is a low carbohydrate diet, once daily eating, so effectively it was intermittent fasting. Also on top of that, I was trying to keep my food intake low, so that my diet would eventually result in being low calorie diet. Quite a few people actually asked me how many calories a day I consume because they noticed the change and they were interested in my caloric intake in general. And quite honestly, I didn't have a good answer because I was not tracking my calories. So in order to make things more interesting, more scientific, more informative, I decided to track my calories and my carbohydrate intake. I've started doing it after my tomahawk steak video, so I've got the data for the past week. In the past week, I've been consuming, on average, slightly less than 1,000 kilocalories a day and around 9-10 grams of carbohydrates per day. In terms of carbohydrates, I'm doing excellent. It's a very low carbohydrate diet effectively, so we are good in terms of getting into all this keto world. In terms of caloric intake, it's also interesting. First of all, on average, I was consuming 1,000 calories per day, which is very close to very low calorie diet. My basal metabolic rate is close to 2,000 calories a day with mild to moderate activity, and I do engage in physical exercise twice a week. My total daily expenditure should be around 2,500 to maybe 3,000 calories on the days when I do work out. So consuming around 1,000 calories per day is actually a very low amount. I'm definitely in a very good caloric deficit, and in my personal opinion, it's the major driver behind my weight loss. And I'll get to weight loss in a second. Another thing that I discovered was that as soon as I started counting calories, the amounts of calories that I would consume on a daily basis actually went down, which is a good example of something that we call a Hawthorne effect, which simply means that when people are being observed and they know that they are being observed, their performance improves. So I started with around 1,600 calories on day one, then I reduced it to 1,200 to 1,000, and in the past 2-3 days I was consuming around 700-900 calories per day, which is very close to the very low calorie diets. Usually we call a diet very low calorie when people are consuming less than 800 calories per day. So as I mentioned, on top of my diet, I've been working out just twice a week, moderate intensity resistance training. It wasn't too difficult, and I would like to say that the main purpose of having some exercise is not to lose weight. I don't really believe that you can lose a lot of weight by just exercising a lot. But when you're exercising, you are inducing certain hormonal responses from your body that are conducive to weight loss. Plus, I'm preparing myself for the next stage of my personal body transformation. In 6-8 weeks from now, when my body fat percentage reaches 12% or so, I'm planning to actually engage in very intense physical exercise when I'll be focusing not on weight loss, but rather on building muscle or rebuilding muscle. So speaking of weight loss, it's time to talk about the progress. The progress was amazing. First of all, I planned and I hoped to reach certain psychological threshold of being less than 90 kilos of body weight and less than 200 pounds of body weight, for those of you who are using metric or imperial system. I managed to go way below that. I've lost 8.2 pounds and my current body weight is 87.6 kilos or 193 pounds. So I'm way below the projected amount and I'm very happy with that. In the process, I discovered a couple of interesting things. First interesting observation was related to, let's call it extended fasting. So what happened effectively, I came home one day, I was so tired that I didn't make my meal and didn't consume it. I just went straight to bed, and the next morning I woke up weighing 3 pounds less, which was very interesting, obviously, because, you know, who wouldn't want to lose 3 pounds a night? But at the same time, most of this weight was lean body mass or water, and I kind of regained good portion of it on the following day, and it looked like this extended fasting experience actually boosted my weight loss a little bit. From then on, I was losing my weight at a very steady pace and a very good pace of around half a pound a day. The second discovery I made was related to trying to calculate my body fat percentages. And I've got these two scales that I use every day. They are consumer level scales, not cheap, but still consumer level. And they both show the body fat percentage of around 25 to 27%, which already appears to be a little bit too high for the way I feel and the way I look. So I went to certain place and I had myself tested on in-body scanner equipment, and surprisingly this machine actually gave me a very interesting result. My body fat percentage was 18.5%, and given that the device is quite expensive and robust, I have no reasons not to trust it. But at this point I'm starting to really doubt the accuracy of my personal scales that I use on a daily basis. And from now on, I'm not going to rely on these scales in terms of estimations of my body fat percentage. I will just use the body measurements and my body weight and the way I look as the main source of information. Speaking of body measurements, I've lost 3-4 inches in my waist, and I can definitely tell that I feel differently and that people notice frequently that, you know, my physique has changed. And I've got lots of compliments and at the same time lots of questions about how I feel. The answer to this question is I feel okay. I cannot say that I feel like particularly full of energy and ready for new adventures. This diet routine is a little bit boring, to be honest, and I've got some sort of a diet fatigue, but I've got my goals and I seem to be achieving them at a very good pace. I don't want to break this cycle of burning fat and body transformation, so I will definitely stick to it. And the last item on my weight loss progress is that today in the morning, according to two of my scales, the average amount, I have lost 29.7 pounds of body weight in the past 6 weeks, which is very close to 30 pounds. So I pretty much reached this amazing psychological milestone of having lost 30 pounds. I'm very happy with that, and you know, when you lose just several pounds in the very beginning, it's obviously a very encouraging thing, but when you get into 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds of weight loss, these are already substantial amounts, and these are clear indicators of success. So I'm very happy with that, and it's time to make the plan for the next 2 weeks. Given that I've been doing pretty well in the past 2 weeks and the past 6 weeks in general, I will stick to my current nutritional approach. I will do exactly the same things I've been doing. I will keep counting the calories because it seems to be beneficial, both psychologically, it gives me more control over my diet, and it definitely produces good results in terms of low caloric intake. That is a major driver of my weight loss. I will also engage in physical exercise. I'll keep doing what I've been doing. I will still continue increasing the weights that I'm using for my exercise, but it will still be moderate in intensity, not heavy, just because in the end of the day, I'm consuming too few calories to engage in very intense physical exercise. What I will do differently in the next 2 weeks, I'm planning to add the third day when I'll focus on major compound movements. Specifically, I'll add deadlifts, I will do more pull-ups, chin-ups, clean and presses, and so on. In terms of my expectations, the expectations are very simple. I hope to lose another 5-7 pounds of body weight. I hope that my body fat percentage will go even further down. Just a couple of days ago, I was going to say I want to hit the psychological barrier of 30 pounds of weight lost, but I pretty much have already done it. So just stick to the same routine, and I just hope that my total weight loss will be around 35-37 pounds by the end of the next 2 weeks. So that was it for today. My report is complete. I've told you what I've been doing, what my progress was, and what my plans are. I'll keep you posted. I'll try to make my videos as inspirational and as informative as I can. I hope that it helps you. I hope it inspires you. I hope it gives you some information, and I try to actually interject some scientific bits into my comments. If you like what you're seeing, if you like my channel, please subscribe. Subscribe to my website, drsamshealth.com. Like the videos that you like, make comments, ask questions. I'm always happy to answer them, as you know. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks in my next body transformation report, and I will definitely make 1 or 2 other videos on either nutrition or dieting or physiology or something else. I've got quite a few ideas right now. I'll see you soon. All the best.